Hey guys, just wanted to come on here and do a quick vlog. I guess this one's more for the parents, really. It's not for the adults. It's more towards the parents and kind of helping the kids and all the juniors kind of really get into not just the guitar, but get into music. Um, so recently, I've kind of been talking to some of the kids, and we've been talking about what kind of music do they like to listen to, and what's their favorite song, and what's their favorite album or band or something like that. And when I say juniors, we're talking from the age of 7. So from the age of 7 onwards. And what's baffling, and maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm comparing myself to some of the kids now. But what I'm getting back from a lot of the kids is I don't know. I don't really have a favorite song, or I just I like this one song, but I don't really like anything else. Um, and I've never really understood that. When I was young, I used to kind of be really fanatical about music just as much as I am now. And I think as parents, as teachers, there's ways that we can influence that. There's ways that we can kind of really get kids on board with having a musical taste, because it is a lie that kids don't get music. Kids are very in touch with music. My first album that I ever got was when I was 7, and I got it on tape from Woolworths, um, and it was the Michael Jackson's Bad album. I can't remember why I got that album, but it is a great album. But I can't remember why I got it. I think I saw a video on the TV or something and thought that's a really cool song, or that's a cool album, I'll buy it. Yeah, so I mean that was me at the age of about 7 or 8 years old, um, and that's the age of some of our kids that we're teaching. So ways that parents can kind of really help with the whole um, getting kids interested in music, I guess, is to share your experience of music. So um, tell kids, play music that you would consider to be your favorite music. Play it around them. One of my early memories of rock music, my first rock single I guess I ever heard was REM's "Losing My Religion." My dad had it. He had an old Vauxhall Chevette with a broken tape deck in it, and he had that single jammed in there. It couldn't come out, so we just had to listen to "Losing My Religion" over and over and over and over and over again. It's a great song, even when you have to listen to it all the way to school every day for goodness knows how many months it was stuck in there for. But yeah, I mean that was his favourite music, and he was into things like the Sex Pistols, and then at the end of all kind of the 70s and into the mid 80s, he really got into like pop music and that whole new wave 80s pop type stuff, and then in the 90s Nirvana and stuff. So he really kind of went with the with musical trends, what was popular. And my mum was really into like Motown and Elvis Presley, and then as she got older, disco and things like that. So I had a lot of cool music growing up around the house, and I don't doubt that there's a lot of cool music that you guys listen to, and your kids, the radio doesn't have to be what they want to listen to. It doesn't be that. Sorry, the radio doesn't have to be the be all and end all for their music. You can play a CD in the car and say this was my favorite song or album or singer back when I was your age or whatever. I mean, you guys know that music, what that music is. Um, and another thing you can do, and another thing I mentioned a lot about my dad. My dad's not very musically talented, but he really loves music, and he can tell me about all these really cool bands um, that he's been to see, and his days in university when he would just go and watch live music. Just seemed to all he did. It's almost like he didn't really do anything at university. He just used to go and watch live music. And I don't doubt that you guys have been to see some pretty cool concerts, or you've seen, live music and or whatever. I know I've been to quite a few concerts. So the day that I've got my little guitarist running around the house, um, I'll be able to, tell him or her about all kinds of concerts that I've seen, and different things and different bits and bobs, and all these massive, great big stadiums with great music being played out of them. So share those experiences, because these are the experiences that get kids excited. A kid will automatically think, what would that have looked like? And that adds to that sense of excitement around the guitar. And if the kind of music that you listen to or that you like doesn't necessarily have lots of guitar in it, that's not too much of an issue. I mean, some would argue that it has to be guitar music. Like I said, my first album, I mean, there is a bit of guitar in it, but it was a pop album. And the second album I think I ever had, I think I just had pop music until I remember listening to pop music when I was a really little kid, and then when I was like just leaving junior school, listening to like rap, and then as soon as I got to secondary school, getting into rock music and things like that, but for me it didn't have to. It was just a general interest in music, and that's what's lacking from not from kids in our school, but just kids in general. I don't feel that they're really interested in music. I think they're interested in what the radio might play, or that there might be one or two hits that come out, but really just getting kids around music. And again, it might just be as simple as just playing some music in the house. It might just be as simple as that. So yeah, give it a go. I mean, you look at it this way: you're paying for your kids to have guitar lessons. You want them to get the most out of it, and yeah, it might be a bit cheesy. You telling them about. I mean, I don't know. My fiance's mum, she raves about a Cliff Richard concert that she went to. I'm not a Cliff Richard fan at all in any sense, but you know what? That's a fan of music. That's a bit of a cheesy story for a concert tale, but it's it's a story nonetheless, and I'm sure providing they're suitable for children. Um, no like crazy party concerts or anything like that, but like oh, I saw such and such a band, or I saw this singer, or I saw this guitarist play live. They're all good stories. They're all working, and yeah, that will help maintain the interest. Or if you're finding yourself at a bit of a plateau season with your kid and guitar, it might just be the thing that sparks them up and gets them going again. Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking to parents at the moment, and some of the end of term is always a tough one, and because kids tend to drift off at the end of term. But sometimes you find that parents just go, I just can't get them to practice. Sometimes they just lack inspiration, and yeah, sometimes kids leave lessons from me, and they're inspired, or they've seen me do something cool on the guitar, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. But as soon as I get home, it's back to square one. So having music, or having you guys there, you may not be musical, but you've got an interest in music, I assume, and you can share that with your kids, and that is a huge, huge, huge help to them in terms of their walk with music and their relationship with their instrument, and it's going to have a massive impact on their lessons. So yeah, just some thoughts, thinking out loud, and yeah, give it a try. Let me know how it gets on.